Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I'm herbalist Leo Sade. I help people who struggle with chronic conditions grow their health from the roots up. And today I'm going to speak about red clover. It's a herb that a lot of people use. It's known for women's reproductive system, but it has so many other benefits. So let's dive right in. So red clover was one of my favorite cover crops. The other one was oat, which I made milky oats from. But unlike oats, red clover is a perennial herb that bloom only in the second year. So on the first year, you will just see the leaves, and then on the second year, you start to see the blossoms, and the blossoms are the part that we use. When it blooms, it is gorgeous, and it attracts a lot of bees, bumblebees, a lot of pollinators. The beds covered with red clovers were always humming, singing, and it was like this sunny plant. One of the great benefits of red clover to the soil is derived from its ability to bind to nitrogen in the air and drive it into the soil. We call it a soil fixer because of that. Um, Plants are made of oxygen and carbon, but carbon dioxide, but animals and humans contain a lot of nitrogen. That's what makes us sentinel beings. Red clover, as a member of the Fabaceae, which is the beans family, bind nitrogens into its leaves. It goes to the root and then to the soil and live in the earth. So the common name is red clover. Many people know it as Trifolium, but it has other names like bee-bird, purple clover, pea-vine clover, and the red feather clover. Like I said, the family is Fabaceae. You use the blossoms, and it's a first degree, so you can use it as food. It's a very safe herb. So let's talk about the energetic architecture of red clover. It is associated with Venus and the qualities of beauty and harmony that are represented in red clover's blossom. So if you look closely at the blossom, it's beautiful and very symmetric. The doctrine of signature was a traditional philosophy that suggests that plant shapes, color, texture, and habitat can point to their medicinal properties. It links red clover three leaf, the trifolium, what we know as the triple leaf of clover, to the ovaries and the uterus. Two ovaries with the uterus in the middle. Red clover and Venus are associated with women's reproductive system, not surprisingly. Um, Ruling element. As an alternative and lymphatic, red clover is associated with the water element. It is an amphoteric herb that can moisten dry tissue or can dry them stagnant conditions. In alchemy, red clover is associated with mercury. So when we are talking about the three principles of alchemy, we talk about sal, which is more condensing, mineralizing, um, kind of binding into the earth, very grounding. Then we talk about sulfur, which is very diffusive, very evaporative, like volatile oils are diffusive. It's very spiritual, kind of. And in between, we find Mercury. It's always in the movement between the earth and heaven. And red clover is associated with Mercury. It sends its delicate blossom toward the light of the sun while digging long roots into the ground, loosening the soil and leavening it. As a medicine, red clover is balancing herb, both drying and moistening, and it is used for both excess and deficient estrogen. Temperature, red clover is considered to be slightly cooling. Fluids, as I said, it is balancing, drying, and moistening, and it's harmonizing the tone in the body. So it's not too tightening, not too relaxing. Basically, it's a herb that brings a lot of balance and harmony to the body. Venus. The tissue state that you would choose to use red clover. Red clover benefit people with dry atrophy, damp stagnation, and tense tissue state. The dry atrophy tissue state tends to manifest in the body as weakness and malnourishment because the fluids that carry nutrients and clear toxins are stagnant. There is this congestion. Red clover removes obstruction from the lymphatic flow, alleviating damp stagnation. The polysaccharide constituent in red clover moisten the mucosa. So when you have dry mucus, softening dry, leathery tissue that might be tense because it is too dry. So some of the action of red clover, it's considered the alagogue, which is herb that promote mucus production in a dry mouth. It will stimulate saliva production in damp mouth and throat and kind of dry a mouth that is too wet, too damp. So it's very helpful in that way for irritating cough with a lot of mucus or irritating cough with not enough mucus. It's nutritive. It is among our most nutrient-dense herb. It is rich with protein, vitamin C, a blend of B vitamin, calcium, potassium, magnesium, manganese, zinc, and more vitamins. The nutrients in red clover are mostly water soluble, suggesting that the preferred method of preparation for red clover is in water extraction. So you want to use red clover mostly in tea. It is an alternative, and alternatives are herbs that promote fluid metabolism. Thereby, they increase nutrient absorption and the removal of toxins from the body. It is also a demulcent. It's derived from the polysaccharides that it contains, and as a demulcent, it's moisten dry tissue. Organs of affinity. So it has an affinity to the lungs, kidney, skin, and blood and lymph, and of course, women's reproductive system. As a lymphatic alternative, red clover has a specific affinity to lymph node, tonsils, adenoid, parotoids, and salivary gland, where it reduces swelling and drain congestion. It's an alternative on the lymphatic, and blood can help clear chronic skin condition, eczema, dermatitis, acne, and boils. So let's go into the itty-bitty of the details of where you can use and how, and what the research are actually telling us about the use of red clover. So when I think of red clover, the first word that comes to mind is harmonizer. It tunes down metabolic processes when they are too much and amplify them when they are just a whisper. When I refer to metabolism, I include both anabolic processes, the assimilation and distribution of nutrients, and catabolic processes, the breakdown and removal of waste products. Red clover support both types of metabolic processes. It is important to clarify that by waste product, I refer not just to the chemical and toxins that enter the body with the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. Instead, I factor in endotoxins such as dead cells, dead pathogen, and free radical produced by cellular energy production. So the body, just by being and processing and producing energy and moving and just by life, create a lot of toxins. So let's talk about red clover to the women reproductive system because that's where it's known most. It contains isoflavones and those are phytoestrogens. So what does it mean that they are phytoestrogen? They bind to estrogen receptors and induce in the body estrogen-like response. However, their estrogenic effect is much weaker than that of your estradiol that your body is actually producing. So it does bind to estrogen receptors, but the effect is not as strong as your own estrogen. But by blocking estrogen receptors, they reduce the body's overall estrogen response. In women with low estrogen level, phytoestrogen in red clover can increase overall estrogenic effect. To achieve the desirable effect of phytoestrogen, they need to be converted by the gut microbiome. In women with imbalances in gut flora, there is a decreased metabolism of phytoestrogen in the gut, and the herb may not work as expected. As an alternative herb with an affinity to the lymphatic and blood system, red clover is indicated for cysts, both ovarian and breast cysts, that harden. Herbalist Dorothy Hall described a process in which the body engulfs a swelling, classify it, and separate it from the body. So you have a swelling, you have an inflammation, and the body creates a shield around it, classify it with calcium, and separate it so the inflammation does not spread. But now you have a swollen cyst that can persist for years. When it's rupture, it releases toxins that can cause fever and fatigue. Red clover can reduce swelling and remove the toxins. Other conditions of tissue buildup in women's reproductive systems, such as fibroid and endometriosis, can benefit from regulation of estrogen level alongside herbs such as chest tree and black cohosh. So you can combine red clover, chest tree, and black cohosh for something like fibroids or endometriosis when you want to balance estrogen in the body. Red clover might assist in cervical dysplasia, a condition that involves abnormal cells changes in the cervix. Usually it's caused by HPV infection, which is a viral infection, and is considered pre-cancer process. For cervical dysplasia, combine red clover with ineffective alternatives such as echinacea and calendula. So remember, we are talking about a viral process. So you want to use alternatives that are antiviral, basically. Echinacea and calendula, they are immune modulating, and you can use reishi and astragalus, and diuretics such as cleaver, like cleavers, dandelion roots, and you can add some demulcents like marshmallow flowers. Studies show that red clover reduced the daily incidence of hot flashes in premenopausal women, premenopausal and menopausal, who receive active treatment compared with those that were receiving placebo. So the research divided the women to two groups. One group was receiving placebo and the other was receiving red clover. And the results show that clearly red clover helped reduce hot flashes. It improved bone density, lipid metabolism, mood, and cognitive symptoms without side effect in postmenopausal women. So it's a herb that could be used in women's reproductive system throughout the different phases of life. So red clover is not just for women's reproductive system, it's also for the skin. It's indicated for skin condition, specifically when the skin is dry and flaky. So not those oozing eczema but more dry, flaky psoriasis, alongside immune system modulating herbs and healing the gut. Red clover also supports the immune system. It can be beneficial whenever there is infection or post-infection condition where the lymph nodes are swollen, slow, sluggish toxin metabolism that present as a feeling of, I'm past the disease, but I'm not quite well. You feel on the mend, but not fully yourself, still tired, sluggish. This presentation indicated the body is still cleansing metabolic waste, dead immune cells, and dead viruses and bacteria. Lymph nodes play crucial role in filtering waste products and in hosting immune cells, such as macrophages, B cells, and T cells. Red clover is best applied to the neck, throat, and underarms. So if you have sore throat, underarms, neck, throat inflammation, that's you want to use red clover. Mastitis, tonsils, and salivary gland congestion. In leaky gut, when the gut epithelium is structurally damaged, red clover can help the body eliminate excess metabolic waste associated with inflammation. And again, this is leaky gut when the epithelium has basically holes in it and a lot of inflammation, a lot of waste product. Red clover can help clean up. Respiratory system. Being a lymphatic alternative alongside an excellent moistening, relaxing expectorant is a very useful combination in condition of a hot, dried, and irritated cough. This cough that is irritated because you cough, but it's not a full cough and nothing really come up. It's not productive. When wheezing, coughing, and difficulty breathing occur due to mucous membrane irritation, there is oftentimes a degree of tension, spasm, and heat in the tissue. Red clover is also beneficial for clear, thin, watery mucus dripping from the sinuses or the bronchitis, which is kind of an allergic reaction. Rolla Thomas recommended an infusion of red clover for spasmodic cough, whooping cough, and measles cough. So let's hope to safety. It's a lot. Red clover gives you quite a lot, but let's talk a little bit about safety. Red clover is generally a safe herb. It is first-degree herb that can use in food. But if you're on blood thinner, avoid red clover because red clover thin the blood. Also, if you are susceptible for bleeding problems, avoid red clover. You also want to avoid red clover before surgery because of the thinning effect. Red clover shouldn't be used with pharmaceutical blood thinners because the effect will be potentialized, so it will be double the effect. It contains coumarins that have blood thinning effect. You want to avoid it during pregnancy because of the estrogenic effect. And large doses, and I'm talking about real large doses, should be avoided in estrogen-dominant women or women on anti-hormonal medication such as tamoxifen. So if you know that you are estrogen dominant and you are trying to balance your hormone, but I'm talking about really a lot of estrogen, like out of the, you shouldn't use red clover or use it in small dosages. That's it from me for today. I hope it was beneficial. I really enjoy writing those plant profiles and sharing them with you. If you're struggling with any condition, please know that I'm there for you. You can contact me. I offer 15 minutes free consultation so we can create relationship and you can see if I'm the right person for you, what I can offer to you. You can also share what's going on with you, what keeps you up at night. I will be happy to give you or two tips for free and also see if we are meant to work together. You can find me at www.threefoldherbalhealing.com. www.threefoldherbalhealing.com. I hope it was beneficial. Thank you for staying to the end. Wishing you a happy day.